effects of the silver cold moon on January 25th, 2024 lingered well into January 27th conjunction. The melody of the colors within the electromagnetic spectrum radiated from the peak of the firmament, although sunken in the triple blackness of what we know as space. The wolf moon, being the first of the Gregorian calendar, is seen for the first time opposing a line of planets, inclusive of the sun. This created an opportunity to begin one's journey to the discovery of the Philosopher's Stone. This potent release of power from the wonders or guardians will speak greatly to the elements content within our physical and spiritual bodies. This correlation of the transmutation of metals is the transmutation of the soul, which is the process of alchemy. To transform these metals within is to reach to the final stage of gold of the soul. Considering the first rule of alchemy, man cannot gain anything without first giving something in return, or moving oneself from a mundane state to a state of great profit, or to obtain something of equal value, something of equal value must be lost. This is the first law of equivalent exchange. Now in the 10th house or mid-house, Uranus lets you know the time is now for a spiritual change, and this energy keeps you focused on that. At its highest point in midheaven, it pinpoints to personal achievements. And here we see the moon. It opposes Saturn. It's conjunction with Pluto, triune with Venus, and also triune with Jupiter. The moon's feminine intuitive personality is almost as important as the sun. The element as water is very cold and moist, and she rules Cancer in exaltation in Taurus. Tradition also match her with the end of life and a dissolving of lower selves. The challenge will come with Lilith in 16 degrees, 15 Virgo, representing the challenge of deep-seated refusal of one to submit to dissolving these levels. And especially now that she is closest holographically projections to Earth. It may pull at your lower nature, what is hidden in our deeper selves, once recognized, can be transformed to illumination. With the love of Venus, one will find a way to see how love is in the all, and this in turn will reflect in the self, in order to continue the journey through transmutation. Mars' action and physical energy will guide the way as the fire in the spirit that is willing. This conjuncting with Mercury and triune with Uranus represents freedom in originality, in the revealing of the unfolding of your true authentic self. Ruling in Aquarius will open the doors to the fullness in knowing. Jupiter will make room for this expansive internal power, benevolence, large vision, and generosity in the air of Neptune. This will create an inspirational activation in telepathy and intuition, guided by the source of all things. Neptune wants you to remember your timelessness, to know you are not merely just a productive human being. You have an infinite soul. The effects of these spare star energies upon the atmosphere of the Earth, by its astrology and numerous metallurgic reports, we are informed of the starry influences, and the effects of these influences upon the Earth's subtle atmosphere becomes the basis of an elaborate structure in magical thinking. The general pattern by the ancients in the discussion of the planet itself to be based on the same general pattern of the human being itself. Man has a physical body, and he has invisible principles too. To the ancients, the earth had invisible principle. The earth is an organized structure, a structure that is capable of supporting life, and passing through innumerable vicissitudes and changes of itself. There was not only a visible earth, but an invisible one. There was not only a physical earth, but a superficial one. And the invisible structures of the earth, like the aura of the human being, were energy fields, and their energy fields were involved in the evolution of everything that exists in nature. All the kingdoms of life are nourished by energy from appropriate levels of energy fields. A large part of magnetic healing is a result of energies. Therefore, the whole planet is an organism of tremendous vital dynamic structure. To be able to harness these energies and control the magic from these wanderers, one must consider the 4 pillars of alchemy, that being philosophy, astronomy, alchemy, and virtue, the last of which should be within the alchemist from the time of his awakening or transmutation to death, would reveal as this virtue as the only way to solidify his work, and to maintain this throughout their career until their ascension from physical life. Symbols reused throughout time and history speak not only to our conscious thinking mind, but to our primordial self, and it's the joint factor of all beings. Alchemy, being an art of transmutation, with its origins from Egypt and its true ancient name as Kemet, in ancient alchemy, the great retort was the solar system or the prima materia. Everything in creation has these 3 principles. Sulfur represents soul, mercury, the spirit, and salt, the body. The 7 metals of alchemy represent the 7 luminaries. We have the sun represented as gold, the moon is silver or quicksilver, Mercury as mercury, Jupiter, tin, Saturn, lead. These were directly connected to the 7 chakras and the 7 days of the week, receiving energy from both the days and the night. The ancients also attributed these planets to the period of time such as the creation story. As we witness this conjuncting of 9 planets, inclusive of the sun and the moon, sounds the arrival of the golden world. These conjuncting planets create an enneagram representing the great Ennead of 9 deities of Kemet. They were hailed in the Heliopolis era. Found on the papyrus of An, the pyramid text mentions of the gods in unification create a musical tune that signifies the return of the golden world. With these powers that were projected onto the plane within that time, will create moments to magically tap into in the efforts to raise oneself into the highest light. These magical conjuncting spheres represent the gods granting their forces together to activate the clear pathway to ascension into this new age.